I just been all on my grind, I ain't had no time to waste. You must be out of your mind, me, I've been all in my safe. I need some time to unwind, all of this stuff on my brain. I'm trying to have a good time, it's been all work and no play. Oh, hey, boy, you said something, 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 hey, boy, you said something, boy, you said something, hey, boy, you said something, boy, hey, you so crazy.
Y'all feeling y'all all right?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Keep your foot still.
Good afternoon.
We talked about this. Jesus. Y'all all right?
Feeling good, man. We're back in the building again.
We here.
Got a special guest in the building.
No doubt,
sure.
no doubt. But look, before we get into all that, you know how we do. Let's pick these shot glasses up. Let's toast to another show. Let's get it.
Welcome to the couch.
Clean,
to the
clean.
couch.
Clean, clean.
Right.
Say we got a doctor in the house, what I heard. There you go.
Yeah, that's rough.
Why is it always rough for you? I don't understand. It's always rough for you.
Been drinking all evening, then you get rough
Anyway,
on camera.
hey, man, so we appreciate y'all for joining in again. We got Mr. Dr. Robert Copeland.
Doctor.
In the building. Doctor.
He said call him Rob.
Yeah.
You know, moving all them titles, Clarence.
The man earned doctor. I'm going to call him doctor.
For sure.
I respect it. Salute to you,
For
my
sure.
brother.
Book on the table.
I appreciate it, man. You know, education is more about persistence than anything. So
I hear that.
I was persistent, Cap.
That's all right.
For sure.
I got to a point where I had to stop. I couldn't be persistent anymore. It beat me up.
So where you from? Tell us about yourself, man.
Introduce yourself to us.
Definitely.
I
to the
will,
world.
man. My name is Rob Copeland. I'm right now I'm in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Been there about the last 20 years, 30 years, matter of fact, and was born there. But we left when I was a kid. I was 4 years old.
Okay.
And we head out to Corvallis, Oregon.
How?
That's interesting.
Where?
My parents, they were pursuing their master's degrees. So we get
Both
out.
parents?
We get out to Oregon, and kindergarten class. Not only am I the only African American kid in the class, I'm the only African American kid in the school.
Wow. Oh my God.
So
Now, what year is this?
How does that happen?
This is 1970.
So school at this point.
Oh, my God.
So
Was desegregated.
What? Hold on. Yes, right. Hold
yeah,
on.
so you start to have desegregated schools around that time.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
But Oregon always had integrated schools, but they just didn't have no black folks.
So they didn't
was it
really have the
really
need to.
Yeah, I don't think black people grow in Oregon.
I know, right?
Well, I'm from the tropical region anyway.
So,
Yeah,
so
you from
in
regional.
Oregon.
Okay.
So kindergarten, I'm the only black kid in the school. First grade, I'm the only black kid in the school. Second grade, one of my lifetime friends, he about 2 or 3 years older than me, he moves to that area, and he's in the school. We look nothing alike.
Dark skin?
He's a dark-skinned cat.
Yeah.
And all the white kids thought we were brothers.
Because the only two black guys.
Yeah,
That's all we know.
And we all look alike.
Yeah, we all look alike.
Obviously,
Now,
right.
now understand this.
Have you heard that?
Yeah.
You haven't?
And we,
Half of them have. Half of them
Oh, I
have.
forgot.
You know
I
he
forgot.
had.
I forgot.
You know, he
I think Chinese people all look the same, not black people.
You mean
In
Asian-
Japanese.
you mean Asian?
Or whatever.
You mean Asian people?
Asian, yeah.
Whatever. Or whoever.
I ain't gonna lie. Never, that's a different topic. Come on, let's get back to Raw. Let's get back to Raw.
If I had some, I'd throw it.
I just don't think all black people look the same.
Of course you don't. It's a stereotype.
I ain't gonna lie.
Go ahead, Doctor.
Chad might have said something. I ain't gonna lie. But go ahead.
Rob, go ahead, Rob. We sorry.
Okay. Hey.
You know how
see
we
what
do.
we dealing with.
But so we're out in Oregon for a minute. My parents eventually not only get their masters, they get their doctorate.
Okay.
And then my father gets a job at in Champaign, Illinois. I'm about 8 years old, and that's where I grew up. I grew up in Illinois. So if you ask me where I feel like I'm from Illinois.
Wow, okay.
And so
Is that a college town?
Champaign, Urbana.
Yeah, get closer to your mic.
Okay, I'm
You
sorry.
going in and out. You all right?
Champaign, Urbana, Illinois,
Right.
home of the Fighting Illini.
Okay.
And so I'm there until I'm a grown man. I go to the University of Illinois for a minute, I transferred down to Morehouse College.
Okay.
Prestigious HBC.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt.
And then, let's see how this works. Then I get married to a lovely lady that you don't see over there. But
Now, was she a
Shout out to the
Spelman?
wife.
no, absolutely.
So it ain't the Cosbys.
Yeah, no.
So you going that way.
No. So I meet her, and I meet her in 1989. We date for a little bit. We break up. Then 2 years later, we reconnect, and then we get married and have our first child.
Okay.
First child. He's not a child. He's a young man. He's 29, and then we have a daughter. She's 21.
Nice.
But so we're married, and I started bouncing around with career stuff, man. Work in behavioral health care for kids, and I knew that was kind of giving back to them was what I wanted to do.
Right.
I thought I did well at it, but I didn't know how I did well. So I decided to go back and get my master's in counseling education. So I got that from Winthrop University in Rock Hill. Okay. Then I ended up getting a doctorate in education from Gardner-Webb University in Boiling Springs, North Carolina. Nice. So that gets the educational part.
I mean, for sure.
That's good.
Most definitely.
Can I backtrack just a quick? I mean, just
Absolutely.
real quick. I got a question about your time in Oregon.
It rains there like all the time.
Oh yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
It's real green.
Really? I didn't know that.
It's really, really green. It rains.
They say it's like mists all the time.
It is.
It's just like
So everybody
constant.
got so everybody's yards look nice.
They have a high suicide rate.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Right.
Everybody's yard looks great. They do have a high suicide rate for seasonal affective
It's
disorder.
like Seattle.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like Seattle, Washington.
Never heard of that.
You
Yeah.
ever heard of that?
Seasonal
Oh my God,
affective disorder.
Wow.
Yeah, that's actually a disorder that you get from the weather and
Really?
how it affects you.
You get depressed and
I
stuff.
would guess.
Wow,
Wouldn't you guess that? That's why people are happy in LA. You see them in LA all the time. It's
So
sunny.
Yeah,
That could affect your mood.
yeah. I'm sure the winter
sure.
definitely does for sure.
That's
I'm more grumpy in the wintertime. I'm more.
I say I love the winter.
I do too.
I
I'm more
hate
happy in the
summertime.
spring.
Y'all keep the sun.
Yeah,
Never had the sun.
when it's 100 degrees, I'm miserable, bro.
But back to my question. Everybody asked you all that.
Oh, okay. I know.
You gotta hear
I
him
thought
talk.
you did.
We gotta hear him talk. We gotta hear him talk all podcast.
Kind of felt like it.
No, so going back to like your days in Oregon, early on, like how was that? Like being was that something you was aware of at that age? Is that something you and your parents maybe talked to you about maybe like learning to not lose yourself in that environment? Like I mean, just anything that
You
you
wouldn't know how you was treated.
well, that too, but
I think early on,
because that's such a young age.
it's a young age, and you may not realize your differences, but you also got to realize I'm coming from being a 4 or 5 year old and being immersed into black culture, my family and everything. And so then I'm pulled away. I remember this one time we were in the apartment in Oregon. My mother had braided my hair. Back in that time, you'd braid your hair down and then you take it down and you get an afro the next day. So she had braided my hair, and she was in the kitchen, and I'm sitting in the chair watching the TV, and screen door is open. So I'm just watching TV, and all of a sudden this little kid pushes his face up against the screen, and he starts yelling, "Jigaboo, jigaboo, jigaboo."
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, I didn't even know what a jigaboo was, so I'm sitting, or what he defined a jigaboo to be. I'm sitting there trying to figure out what's going on. I'm trying to navigate it. My mother comes in the room, shoos him away, and she starts sitting down explaining to me that was a vile word that he was using, and the reason he was using it towards me.
So you were so young, you didn't even.
Probably the first time you ever heard it. I mean, maybe.
I had never heard that word ever. I mean, like I don't even know if I've heard it since.
Right,
It's not a common.
It's an ancient.
It's an old term.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right here. Cause I had a screen door growing up. Now you put your face or your hand on that screen door, Brenda Martin gonna cut your eyeballs out.
It's a problem.
Now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that right now. Now, let me tell you what Brenda Martin gonna do at 1029 Go Scale Street in Reedsville. Cause we had a screen door. As soon as you put your hand open the screen door and put your face on, somebody getting cursed out.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I'm telling you that right now.
And I don't know that didn't happen. I'm remembering the part where she sat down.
Oh, she said a few words.
Yeah, so I don't remember that. But,
Definitely.
but that was like, I think that was probably the moment that I realized I was different. I was different from them.
Now, what age was this?
It had to be like
maybe about
5 or 6.
6.
Oh, you knew
That's when I. That's what.
Kindergarten, first grade.
Yeah, that's when I knew. That's when I knew I was different too. Around that same age.
Hold
Just
on. Let me ask you. So
just
you
different.
Never, at school, everybody treated you the same. There was no problem at school. Nothing.
I remember.
Oregon close to Canada.
But I seem to remember one time the kids were like, they wanted to touch my hair. They were fascinated with my fro.
Ain't that crazy?
And I have a vague recollection of that.
Okay.
Wow, that's true though.
Yeah. But I don't. Yeah. But I
think white women like that.
man, you so stupid.
Jesus.
That ain't even funny, but it's funny.
Yeah, it is.
That ain't even funny.
That's a pretty good one. That's pretty good.
So yeah, so I do remember that. But
Man, stop.
You see how it goes sometimes. They'll take any situation and they ignore them. But you know what? But it is true though.
It's funny.
It is true though. People who when they have like when they have curiosity.
yeah,
Hey, show's over. Good night. Oh my God, that's funny, but it ain't funny.
Oh my gosh, boy, so stupid.
I'm sorry.
Real, man.
I'm sorry.
How do you think that shape? Do you think that had any shape on like how you grew as a person into your manhood? Like, do you think like reflecting on that time, does it have any bearing on how you turned out as a person, or your view on life, or your view on?
I think every aspect of your life probably has an effect on you.
Yeah.
I don't know
For sure.
I don't know that it had any more of an effect on me than later years in Illinois. Navigating, I don't know how aware we are about Illinois, and downstate Illinois, Champaign-Urbana is about 120 miles from Chicago. But some of the issues that you have in Chicago are readily available, especially going on now in Champaign-Urbana. So you have gang problems. You got young folks killing each other.
Senseless.
And it is senseless. As I was growing up, I started to become aware of some of that stuff. You understand gangs, the dynamics and gangsters and all that. I don't think it was at a level it is now, but I navigated through it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
We adapt.
Yo, absolutely.
For sure.
Definitely got to.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that. But let's get to this book.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
Let's get to this book. That's the reason we're here.
All right, so set the stage for us.
All right.
So the book is about, I'm guessing, two main families.
Absolutely. So
Okay, the Mckenzies and the Hawkins.
you got it. Mckenzies and the Hawkins, and both of them are my family. Two branches of my family.
And if I'm not mistaken, one of them is a white woman that I've seen. Is that true?
That you seen?
Yeah.
A white woman that you've seen.
What's her name? Bessie?
Bessie was actually, according to our family oral history, she would have been what was referred to as an octoroon, 1/8 black,
1/8 black,
or
1/16.
some people said she was 1/16.
Yeah, 1/16.
Yeah, and so that's my.
She looks like a white woman to me.
Yeah.
Now, would you classify her as white or no?
I didn't know her, so she was my great grandmother, but she was deceased before my mother was born.
But given our time, like for us, the one thing I love about our community, we are so receptive. Like if you ever been to and I just use it, if you go to a black cookout, get you a plate, come have a good time.
Nobody judges you. You don't see strange looks.
Even the jokes are like warming, stuff like that. But you know, reverse effect. If you 1/8, 1/16 black, you black in the community.
For sure, 100%.
We're gonna take you in.
100%.
This is the thing that was clear about her, though. What she defined herself as was black. She was black.
Yeah.
There was no question.
Because the picture that I've seen.
That's now understand. That's an artist rendition because we could not find a picture of her.
Okay.
Okay.
I got so many questions around this.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
so I got so many questions around this.
Okay.
So let's be clear. Help us understand. So this is this an oral stories passed down from generation to generation, or
so it's a true story?
Okay. So this is how I'm going to explain it to you, and I want you to understand the dynamics.
Okay.
As an author, these characters, these people, don't just belong to me.
Sure.
They also belong to other family members. Okay. I got kind of a spiritual connection to write this book. So I started reaching out to my family members that I knew and some I didn't know to see, you know, how are you with this? You know, are you okay? And so all the responses I got were, you know, they were cool. But I also started to think about this, okay, if I'm going to take family history that came down to me, it might not be the same that came down to you.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
And so
the stories will be different.
So, well, I may get a story about your direct ancestor who may be my uncle, great uncle, and there might be some negative aspects I got, okay? And so if that's your direct line, your direct ancestors, you may be like, nah, my great granddaddy wasn't like
Exactly.
that.
Right.
So
100%.
so what I did was I said it's historical fiction. The fiction part gives me the I guess it gives me the comfort where I can go where I want to go with the story from a literary standpoint, weave the story, which is actual family oral stories. These people were here in these times and all that kind of stuff.
It gives you the right to tell it in your way.
Tell it in my way.
Yeah.
And so if I call it historical fiction, I don't have to worry about my third cousin over here getting upset because I
Saying you
said
recounted
backlash and
Gotcha.
right.
Yeah.
And so that's
That
the
really
reason.
helps me understand.
Yeah.
Because as I was reading, I'm thinking these are number one. I was fascinated with the fact that I was like, man, if you were able to go back, because I tried to do this one time and go back and recant my
That's a lot of work.
the work is so difficult because of things that were destroyed, not having proper documentation, broken family.
Yeah.
My grandmother, one of my grandmothers was adopted.
That's another aspect.
Yeah, so you get to a point where you just can't go anymore without some help from someone. And when you go and try to search like marriage records or birth certificates and things, like there are some people, the stuff isn't available.
Well, you know, I'll say this: to me there was a spiritual component to this as I was doing research. So I can tell you absolutely, these people were here at these times. So, you know,
So the dates were accurate.
the dates are accurate. The stories are accurate.
Okay.
Me finding some of this stuff, and as I'm doing the research, things literally just started opening up for me.
Okay.
So I didn't have, you know, I talk about two of my 2 times great uncles, and they're in Fort Des Moines, Iowa, first officer training school in World War I. I had no idea before I wrote that book that they were there, but when I did the research, here they are. Okay, and so as they're here, then I'm starting to wind the story in as I want to have creative license as an author in the book. But all of the stories, all of the people, all of the places are actual things that occurred. I may do little nuances to create an interesting story, but
which everybody does anyway.
yeah. But I will say this. So my great grandfather meets my great grandmother. She's 1/16 black. He's very dark complexion. Tuskegee Institute, then Tuskegee University. Now they meet there. So that is the story. Okay. The story is also my 2 times great uncles. They're from Fort Des Moines, Iowa. story also is the white gentleman on the front of the cover is John Thomas DeLoach. He is my 2 times great grandfather. He lived above a store that my 2 times great grandmother ran. He had 5 kids by her. He sent all 5 of them to Tuskegee Institute. So those things absolutely happen.
Okay, so one family is from Tallahassee,
Tallahassee, East Tallahassee, Alabama.
Yep. I don't know why I said Tallahassee.
Tallahassee, Florida.
Tallahassee.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
I thought
That's
they're
exactly
from
why.
Florida because Alabama and Florida like right there, and the Panhandle is just close.
Yeah, but it's not the
further
Panhandle,
down.
so it's a little bit up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other family, those were the Mckenzies, right?
Those were the Mckenzies.
Okay, and the other ones are from where?
They're from Belzoni, Mississippi. That's the Mississippi Delta.
Wow.
And so you see the differences. What I try to show is the differences in those family dynamics, but then there's still elements that are the same. And so you have people that are living differently from each other, but they still love. They still have some levels of dysfunction. They still.
I would assume there's some disconnect.
There's some disconnect.
There's some
absolutely.
disconnect. I would assume.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, and so I guess what I try to do is show all, and I just took 2 of my lines, but literally you have all these lines of people that don't even know each other.
Oh yeah.
And they come together to create you. And let's think about if they didn't make decisions that they made, you wouldn't be here. And that's the thing that I want to connect us to is understanding. Yeah, we make decisions for us, but those decisions affect the people that come after
Yeah,
us.
generation behind us.
That's right. That's right.
That's powerful, man, because I'm gonna tell you, like, I don't know how interested like y'all two are, like trying to reconnect with your past and your ancestors.
I don't give a damn.
Yeah, I know.
It is what it is.
I think it's worth doing, but honestly though, that's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but again,
to
it's
get
an
into
interest. But
Because I got to go down Indian people, white people, black people,
mostly white people.
Asian people.
Well, mostly white people.
Asian.
But
Asian
but this is
people.
my thing.
I met some Asians
What-
at a my family reunion years ago.
Really?
They live in Olympia, Washington.
Wow.
Olympic or Olympia.
Olympic,
Yeah, we don't care. But I think it's so. I think it's so
Oh,
important.
I thought you asked.
Not anymore.
He really did.
Okay.
He really did.
Not who was in your family. No, but I think it is. I think it's super important because one thing for me is one of the most wicked things that's been done to our people is to erase our history, our culture, our foundation, and a lot of people would like to think that our existence started with slavery.
It didn't.
No, of course not.
Most definitely.
But a lot of people like to, and then people would like to think that our existence in America started with slavery,
Right.
and it didn't. But to not have that,
Well, I know that. Where did it start?
So we already was here. Is what you're saying?
Where did it start at, Clarence?
I ain't gonna get into it right now. We ain't here about my. We ain't here about. We ain't here about
I asked the question.
I asked the question.
We ain't
didn't
here
I?
about. Black people that touch ground in this land way before,
I ain't saying
way
they
before
didn't,
slave
but I said when.
You know what's so
And-
funny?
He
Why
wants
we
some
even on
facts.
this? Because I
He
can go on
wants
this
some
all day.
facts.
Please
He
don't
wants
get me
some
started.
facts.
Anyway,
He wants some facts.
I got plenty of facts.
Go ahead. Where you get it from?
The difference is I read
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.com.
something that you can go update. Something that you can go in there and update.
Yeah, boy, anybody update Wikipedia?
But
JaMar was me in there. Update.
but I have interest. I personally have interest in trying to find, because I know for one that my lineage is not
It's
one race of
Reedsville.
people.
But
No, he DC.
Well, and
Boy,
this
you
is,
see it, so.
to me, this is the thing that I think that we have to start connecting with all aspects of our history. And so, if I do a DNA test, I got Nigeria, I got Mali, I got Cameroon, right? Got all that. Well, I got Ireland, I got Wales, I got Scotland.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So what I want us to begin to understand culturally and ethnically, we were stripped of everything.
Stripped
Right?
naked. Definitely.
Stripped of everything.
One of the most wicked things that's ever been done.
Right. So we come
wicked.
we come here. Now think about this. We come here, and I say we collectively, Africans come to America, different places, different tribes, we take some things that we can remember and we actually create this new culture based on some things that we have, and it's an African American culture. It is an ethnicity that we have started to assign to ourselves. Well, reality says we also have taken some European characteristics and we have some European dynamics that are related to us. Now understand this, I am African American every day, 7 days a week.
Right.
I identify with that. But I also know that until we start understanding the true history of how we come here and the dynamics that shape us, then we're going to continue to be stagnant in where we are moving forward. So I had stories too, family stories, where folks were like, oh yeah, your great-grandmama is Cherokee and so-and-so, her cheekbones, this and that. Well, Brother Henry Louis Gates, the leading genealogist in the United States, you see him on PBS every week, he says that's the biggest fallacy in the African-American community, that we all come from Native Americans too. And I found many lines when I'm doing research, I don't have any Native American blood in me. What it was were people were trying to survive in the 1800s and the 1900s with relationships that they were having with Europeans, whether they were consensual or not.
Right.
And so we have to me, we got to put a broad lens on it, and we got to understand, we may not have come from consensual relationships, or in this story, it was a consensual relationship. But we need to understand the dynamics of who we are totally. And that's the thing I try to get to when I'm writing this book.
How much
That's a lot.
so when you went through this and you talked to some of your family members and you reached out, I'm assuming you met some new family members you weren't aware of.
I
Or at least spoke
Reach
to
out to
him.
him.
I reached out,
Yeah.
Now this is the interesting dynamic with my Mckenzie family. They weren't necessarily as receptive.
Yeah, that's my question.
I don't know what that's related to. I don't know if it could be potentially. I don't know, because they have a certain look. I don't know if some of those people are passing. I don't.
Sure.
You know. And so maybe those are stories they don't want to come.
Now, before I don't want to cut y'all, but when key words you used there, I don't know if y'all picked up on. You said passing.
Yeah.
What you mean is black folks passing is white.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just, when you say the word, when you say they pass.
Why you gotta look it up? Why you gotta look at me?
I'm
The
focused
brown
this
paper
way.
bag test, right? They passed it. So they was good.
I'm sorry, Chad.
So you talking about the house Negroes.
I prejudged you right there, Chad. I didn't know if you
The
did
boy
it.
looking right at me.
He will make sure you understand, Chad. That's all.
I'm always looking.
He talking with his hands looking right at me.
Wait,
So talking about the
the
house
way-
Negroes.
Huh?
You talking about the house Negroes. The
Well,
Redskins,
yeah, it's
Right.
well,
right?
yeah.
That's what it
I
was.
mean, if you want, if you,
Hey, don't look at me the rest of the show. Every time he start
That's
talking
what
about it, he
you
look
talking
directly at me again.
You talking about the one that was serving the tea and the lemonade with the white gloves?
the chance of the world.
Exactly.
sure.
That look, listen.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what he wanted to say.
That's not what I wanted to say.
He did.
But wasn't saying, but looking right at me
For
the whole time.
Rest of the show, your nickname is Pass. That boy trying his best to be one of us.
Hold on. I'm
trying
trying
my
my
best.
from his skin color. Let's keep it 100. Now, I'm out in the field. Let's keep it.
Well, my granddaddy was darker than my granddaddy was darker than this
Your
table.
granddaddy was, you ain't.
That's my people. Granddaddy, my people.
Yeah, he was in the house.
God bless
Oh,
Sam
yeah.
Breed. God bless
But
Sam.
interesting dynamic. So we look at that cover right there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And so my first cousin is literally as dark as this couch, almost, right?
So he blue black,
Yeah.
for sure.
And so, but he comes from that same line. Those
All
are
right,
his
so,
people
okay,
too.
so tell us who these people are.
That the white gentleman is John Thomas DeLoach. He is my 2
I dated a
times.
little.
He stayed above your 2-time grandmother, the store, right?
Yeah, he actually owned the store.
Yep.
And he stayed above the store, and he gave her and the kids the house
Okay.
that he owned.
Sent 5 of them to college.
Yep, all of them, all 5.
And boy, that privilege something else.
So
I dated a little.
the 2 kids on there are my great grandmother's brothers. That's Beauregard and Britton McKenzie.
They almost look
Beauregard,
like,
that's
they
a
look
cold
like,
name right
they
there,
look
boy.
like twins.
Beauregard.
That's a cold
But
name.
that's their father.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's their father. So all of the
Hey, from now on, y'all gotta call me Beauregard.
hey,
that name's so cold.
they had some code names. Now check this out. All of them, all the kids were B's. So
Oh, really?
you had
They blood?
Britton, which was one of them. Beauregard. You had Battle. Battle was the oldest.
I like that.
His name
Tough
was
name
Battle?
right there.
Battle McKenzie.
Beauregard. That's still a
And then
killer.
my great grandmother,
Sound like
her name is Bessie, and then they had another brother, Bill.
Okay.
And so that's all the
What's
B's.
what's the significance of the bees?
I have no idea.
Okay.
That's just what they. That's
I
their
think there's a
name.
story in there somewhere.
Got to be with the bees.
Yeah.
And so
For sure.
but all the B's, yeah. And I did when I came across the names and I started doing the research. The coolest ones to me were Battle and
Battle, a tough name.
Britton and Beauregard. Those were some real tough.
Boy, that
names.
Beauregard so tough.
Well, from now on, your name is Passing. So that's what we going to
Passing
refer to
Beauregard.
you as.
No, Beauregard passing. I think that one.
You want to
Yeah, I want to be first.
Tell us a little bit about. So I was looking on your website, and I thought this was so fascinating. The animated pictures.
Oh yeah, man.
That is. I don't know if y'all said, but
Who
that
did
is.
those?
Well, it's,
Why didn't you send me those? I could have put them up.
Well, I didn't know if it was copyright infringement.
no, it's
I thought that was dope. I was like, man,
it's
Look, tell them to go to this page, check them out.
it's
Yeah.
it's a website, man. It's one of the ancestry type websites. I don't know if it's 23andMe or it's not Ancestry. It might be another one. But what they did, the way they got in on their niche was they are able to take these pictures, these old photos.
Right.
They can enhance them and they can make them animated.
like they bring them to life.
Yeah, they bring them to life. So when I started doing it, and I was just messing around. I was like, oh man, this shit right here is
It's kind of freakish.
it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But then it's like you can actually, you almost can feel the person, you know. So yes, I think I did it. If I remember right, I did it with DeLoach.
It was 4 or 5 of them on there, I believe.
I actually did it with a little picture of my mom. She was about 5 or 6, so it gave me an idea of what she looked like.
Man.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
If y'all have not done that, you put up the website for them.
I ain't got the website.
I got the website.
I think
The website be up later.
Ain't got no website.
Crazy to put
You
the man
send me
on
no
website.
Yeah,
Put the website up, Jay. You
It's all right. It's all right. Definitely gave him the website. But
it
website
might
be
be on one of my IG pages. I think it's on my IG page.
it's Cinco
no,
Life.
but those pics aren't up there.
They're not on that one.
No,
Well, what did I
no,
see?
I
it?
you
tried
saw it
that
on my IG page.
Was it on
personal
IG?
Yeah,
page.
it's on my personal
Personal
one.
page.
Dr. Cope Jam?
Yeah, it's Dr. _.
Yeah, we can put that on
Cope
the
Jam.
screen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But it's on there, and it's
Well, put
it's
that up.
crazy.
You definitely
Yeah.
got to go see it. It is fascinating.
Don't go
Yeah, I got that.
Like it's almost a little creepy.
It is creepy.
but it's also fascinating.
So they move?
Yeah.
Yeah, they animated like
Oh, I see that.
their heads and their eyes
Yeah,
and stuff.
definitely.
I don't think I ain't seen one. I don't think they talk. Though.
No, they don't.
They don't talk, but they move. It's like
their eyes move around.
Yeah.
They're smiling. They have facial expressions.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah.
you really bring the pictures like your ancestors to life. Like to
Yeah.
me, it's like you really bring them back to life.
Yeah.
For sure.
By doing that.
I ain't seen them yet, for sure. But for
Yeah, you
sure.
got to check them out. It's really neat. Like when I saw it, I'm glad you said that, and I might have to get that from you again because now I want to go do it and put.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you have to pay for it?
No, it was free. Oh, it's My Heritage. It's My Heritage.
My Heritage.
So if you go to My Heritage's
me just make a note.
website,
Let me make a note.
and all you have to do is literally just create an account, and they'll give you a certain amount of pictures that you can do that to.
It's a free account, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Got
This is a penny pitch over here.
The cheapest dude.
We'll make the
I
most
know.
money out of the podcast. It's a penny pitch.
Hey, can y'all quit putting my business out there in the street, please?
Boy, you
You wanna live in a
know who you
mansion?
are.
Please don't put my business out there in the street.
Stay at Gotham City's Batcave. We don't stay at Batman. Right there. Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne. Oh, Bruce Wayne.
He a white man. Yeah, that's perfect.
So that's how they talk. That's how they talk about a brother at the elevator.
Oh, now your brother.
That's how they talk.
Boy, we up here fighting about black folk. No, never mind.
Don't want to see me elevate.
mind.
See how they do?
Boy.
So, y'all so terrible. Anyway, y'all put the IG. Y'all have to go see that. That is, I'm definitely gonna go try it. I'm gonna let you know how it turn out.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be posting it everywhere.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna bring my daddy back to life.
Oh man.
At Dr._Copeland.
That's right.
I got robbed out of my doorhood with my father, so I'm gonna bring him back to life.
You said you got robbed?
Yeah, I got robbed.
Who robbed you?
I don't know. Somebody took him from me. No, I'm just kidding. Leave me alone. I'm in my
Figure it
feelings.
out.
I'm in my feelings. Anyway, so your relatives down, it was the Mckenzie side of the family, right? Is that right? That you got some rejection from?
I didn't get a rejection. I just got nothing.
Okay.
Oh,
So like I reach out, and it's like, hey, I am so and so's
Uncle or aunt.
granddaughter or whatever,
Right.
great granddaughter. And so I'm like, okay, well, hey, I found you. I want you just to know I'm writing this book about our people. I want to. I don't think I said necessarily have your blessing, but I just want to get some feedback on how you feel about me doing it.
Right.
Nothing.
So they was responding at first
Yeah.
until you said that.
Yeah.
So you writing the book.
And I'm like, I don't need anything from you. I'm just telling you,
It's a courtesy.
It's a
Respect.
courtesy because these are my people too.
Now, this prior to the book being put out, or is it like in the process of being written?
This is
Probably before it's written. Like I'm about to write it.
I didn't know, like maybe you had halfway finished it. You were in the process of doing it, or when was it when you reached out to him?
I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I remember if I don't think I was done.
Right.
I think I might have been writing
Right.
at the time. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So would you have been open up to their side of the story, even if it conflicted with yours, and maybe change something, or would you have kept it whatever you was gonna do?
I think. See, and this is the thing that kind of really resonates with me.
Okay.
And people look at me like I'm crazy sometimes when I say this. This was a spiritual thing for me.
Okay.
So when I tell you I'm sitting down and I remember my fingers hitting the keyboards and I'm writing. I remember that whole process.
Okay.
But if you ask me before I went back to read the book, I couldn't tell you little nuances of the book.
So you telling me you just sort of got in the zone, in a spiritual zone, and just went.
I don't know where it comes from. I think it would probably be the equivalent of like when Michael Jordan says he's in the zone.
Yeah.
And he just
And the basket gets real big, so you just.
And so
I have that from time to time.
So I'm in
So you
this.
do.
I'm in this zone. It's kind of, I guess, this creative zone.
Yeah.
Right.
That I'm tapping into, but I don't know where it's coming from. It's just coming, and so I'm just.
You in the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did you reach out to any family members and they say, hey, why don't you put this in the book? This is my experience.
Nah, nobody said put this in the book. Now this is one thing with my mother. My mother will say, I lived it.
I don't need to read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, you didn't live all of it, But that's her response with that. So,
Now you told her that.
nah.
Okay. I'm about to say.
You have to understand.
Okay.
I have a black mother, so I ain't saying
when
that.
you said that,
No,
that's why I was wondering.
no,
Okay,
no.
you bold.
No,
I didn't know.
no.
That's like a smack in the mouth.
No, absolutely
You
not.
never see it coming.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't be here for this podcast
For sure.
if that had
Okay,
happened.
that's all I'm making sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So yeah,
Them bold words.
yeah, no.
Bold words.
So Dr. Brown, when I was looking on your website, I saw, and again, I'm assuming this is your website. I think that's where I got it from. You had an apology on there.
Oh yeah, now that's that's some of my I think it was a letter.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an apology letter that I write to the next generation of African American males.
What prompted you to
And
do
that's
that?
up on the screen right
Can
now.
we read that? Can we read that? I don't check.
Hey,
Chad, you
read
can't.
it.
I doubt I
Put
can
your
read
finger underneath.
It's all right, Chad.
The dog.
I'm pretty sure I have it. Give me a
Can
second.
you read it, Clarence?
I'm gonna try my best. Y'all bear with me. I just want to read that because I just want to talk about that just for
Did
a
you
second.
practice before you read it?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
So
Y'all
if
forgive me
I
if I
scribble
stumble over some
word, if I
words.
scribble
Yeah.
word or something, y'all bear with me.
Go ahead.
So it's called The Apology, and it says, I apologize to our young men. Our generation has failed you. Many of you have been fooled, bamboozled, and hoodwinked along the way. Some of you have associated manhood with being hard, being hood, having multiple baby mamas, and thugging. In my apology to you, I promise that I will never enable you in those perceptions. I will only expect greatness from you. I will be compassionate towards you when you have not shown compassion to others. I will respect you when you don't have the ability to respect yourself. Most of all, I will love you. I will show you that compassion and love are not weaknesses, but that they are strengths. I have to love you because I love myself, and when I see you, I see myself love Rob. What spark? Like what made you put that letter or like?
That's some strong words. Where'd it come from?
Yeah.
It just comes from where you are in the moment, man. So
Because that being real and hood and thugging, that's the good part to me. Because young cats today,
yeah.
And think about it. But recently we just
being
lost,
they think being real is going to
we just
jail.
lost
That's not what
another
it's
rapper.
about.
Yeah.
Young
Yeah.
Dolph, like
Yeah.
over some BS.
I think for me, and I can't remember exactly when I wrote it, but I was probably dealing with something with maybe a student that I had at the time, or something was hitting me real hard in regards to how I was interacting with that young man, and I had to get it out, you know.
Okay.
And so a lot of times when I write things, and I've said this with my kids, a lot of my stuff that I'll write, I'll just keep on the computer. It's so personal to me that I don't want to share because it's almost pulling out a layer of me that I don't necessarily want to share. That was one I wanted to share, but and the book has been one that I've wanted to share, but I have some other ones that are personal to me that maybe nobody will see until I'm gone.
Right.
You know, but for some reason, that specific one, I just felt like it needed to be out there in the space.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was curious because you actually had it on an open forum.
Yeah.
It was on your website.
Yeah.
So I mean, you being an author and I would assume you got a lot of pieces, or maybe if it's not short stories or letters you may have write, or like you say, you keep a lot on your computer. I was wondering why that one, because I think all of us sort of identify and definitely would. Well, I personally would agree.
Yeah.
But just to have it out there, like I didn't know if it was something like that was personally striking you, or maybe I know in your work. Maybe that has something to do with I used to be in the mental health field, so I spent years doing that as well. I think we all had a stint doing that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, we've had people that
Definitely
we've
young man.
lost in just senseless violence, or you're trying to right a wrong or try to correct someone's life, and it just didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
And so you want it so bad. I'm thinking about one person. I just want it so bad for him to like just get it.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
like understand that it's something that what you value is
Right.
not true value.
Yeah.
It's a means to an end, and then that fella ended up losing his life.
I think
Yeah.
I think
Sad
that's
situation.
exactly it. That's probably where I was in the moment.
Yeah.
In dealing with maybe a young man, and that's when I wrote it, and I felt like it was a message that needed to get out there. That's
Are you doing? And I know, and we get this from afar, like in the TV, internet, etc. Like what's going on right now in Chicago, and I hate to group it all in and correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know if it's one part of Chicago. Or
They say more so out here south side.
South
South
side, me too.
side.
But
Yeah,
like
me too.
the senseless
wrong.
violence and the murder rate and the shootings, like do you go back there much? Are you doing any like work in the community? Or do you see?
and understand, Champaign and Chicago, two totally different places.
Okay.
Right.
But it's still Illinois, and it's still the violence and the gang activity permeates all the way through. So I guess, and you were saying Chicago, and you were here in the South Side.
That's all we hear, South Side.
It's not just the South Side.
Okay.
I wouldn't think so.
People,
But it's what you hear mostly, is South Side.
People, somehow we've gotten this thing with Chicago, and people that know the area will tell you. People say the South Side, and the South Side is rough. I'm not saying South Side is not rough. West Side is probably rougher than the South Side.
So you're saying that they get the most light and news coverage? Like, they focus more so on the South, but the same things could be happening on the West or the East or whatever.
I think what happened was a long time ago. This dude, white guy named Jim Croce, wrote a song, "Bad Bad Leroy Brown, Baddest Man in the Whole Damn Town," and he talked about South Side of Chicago. That was where the South Side kind of got that thing rolling.
Okay.
But anybody, and literally, and you could talk to Chicago natives, and they understand the dynamics. Yes, South Side is rough, but it really is not going to be any rougher than the West Side, and more people will probably tell you that the West Side is rougher than the South Side.
So as a whole, is Chicago?
Hold on, let me ask you this: who is Valerie Talford?
That's my first cousin. Oh Lord.
Okay,
She's a Mckenzie.
Oh, okay,
And
cool.
I'll take it back. She's a Mckenzie and a Hawkins. She's my first cousin.
Okay, well, she said we learned lots about our family from our first cousin, Dr. Robert Copeland.
All right.
I support him in the story he told about our family.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
That's all right.
That's awesome.
Thank you, cousin. I didn't know you were tuning in. That's
So
all right.
you help you I guess in the sense of
educate some
person
people.
that you help educate your family, bring them together and meet. Are they connecting generations?
Or did you at least try?
The interesting thing, I think we always have been connected. We're connected, especially my mother's people. That's my mom's niece, and that's my first cousin. We've always been close. We've always understood this dynamic of family. We may not have known about those specific branches of our family, but we've always known our family.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's cool. I didn't realize she was tuned in, so that's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Definitely.
And I love you, so that's good. That's good stuff.
One more. You had also a
Brother to brother.
Yeah, brother to brother. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about that. It was more of
It's literally, I think, almost as an African American male, me screaming out that I matter too. I too am America. I am the brother that sometimes you hide and put away. I am as worthy of being called an American as every single person here.
Right.
And so that was kind of what I was channeling at that time.
Do you have it?
Just to get that one out, and to it's the dynamics are kind of similar to, oh man, I'm trying to think who wrote something similar. I'm thinking Du Bois, but it may not have been Du Bois. But anyway, there's a similar type thing that was out there years ago, and I kind of tapped into that in writing that for a way for me to kind of purge a little bit.
Okay. I'm gonna read it real quick. You got it up on the screen as well.
Yep.
All right. So it's titled "Brother to Brother." Hello, America. It's me, your brother. Our mom is Lady Liberty. We have no other. Your father was Uncle Sam, while mine was Jim Crow. My father, unfortunately, was someone I did not know. Oh, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, was someone I did know. My pain and trauma are dismissed by you. You act as if we are not connected through and through. You treat me as if I come from someone other. Remember, it's our fathers who are different and not our mother. So,
who you directing it to?
Every American out there.
Yeah.
White or black?
That's deep.
Yeah. White or black? Some people see it's easy to say it's a white person, but it could be black too. It could be whoever. Who were you directing it to when you wrote this?
I think I was directing it to the whole concept of systemic racism.
Okay.
And whoever benefits from that, and whoever doesn't identify that is a problem that needs to be addressed. So if that's white folks, then that's white folks.
Okay.
If that's anybody else,
So whoever it applies to.
Okay,
exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
sure.
obvious to be a scapegoat. Say
Yeah.
white folk, this off the gate. But you know,
what I get from it. I think it sums it up. Like it really it shines light on how diverse this country is. Also, how divisive this country can be. How complicated it is. But no matter like what the story is, like we all should realize that the backgrounds may be different. Like you said, our fathers may be different. Our mother is the same. Like we all were birthed here, raised here, have grounds here, have
For sure.
historical value.
And for the most part, have the same goal.
Yeah, a lot of it.
And like buy a house, get married, have
You
a
want to be able to
family.
provide for your family, and but the thing about it is, like, I think that's what I got from it. Like, no matter how you try to like shake it up and pull on it and say America is my home, not yours. Like, we're all America.
Right. And what I was also tapping into when I thought about writing that is the whole dynamics of these generations of young African American men that fought for their countries and had the ultimate sacrifice, risking their lives, and some of them gave their lives, and then they come back to this country that
Don't love them back.
Doesn't love them, still didn't accept them.
Right.
And that's trauma. That's generations of trauma that we're dealing with. And so I think
And I don't think we can reverse that. I think it's possible. I think it's too deep.
You know what we can do to reverse it. In my opinion, I don't know if you can reverse it, but what happens is you need generations to you need several generations
Pulling the same way.
Well, not only that, because like, say if your parents was somebody who fought for the country, came back, would live through segregation, and then try to integrate in society, and it did, it was a rough patch. So, like I always say, my mom, like, we're not that far removed. Like, my mom was the last segregated class in Reedsville. Like, she never went to integrated school. She was the last graduating class. Her senior year was the last, and your mom was the first class of integrated going, and that was the first Reedsville High School.
My mother,
we just not that far.
Yeah, my mother, she didn't go to integrated schools until she was going for a master's.
Wow.
Wow.
Now this is,
But that was different.
but check this one out though. This is when, and you're talking about how closely we are connected, right? So I found this picture of one of my great grandmother's sister, and I'm sorry, my great grandmother's sister, not related to this line, but just another line. And my mother always said that she remembers her great grandmother, who was a slave that died when she was 8 years old. And so we pulled this picture up, and my mother has a memory of this great aunt on this picture. And so what I did, I put this picture up. I can't remember if it was Facebook or IG or whatever, but I put this picture up, and I tried to remind people that when they talk about the concept of being enslaved, it's really not that far or that long ago, because my mother knew this lady on this picture, and I talked to my mother this morning on the phone. That's how close it is. We're talking about my mother.
That gap ain't that big when you put it that way.
It's not that big.
Put it in perspective.
But you know what's in
Put it in
danger?
perspective.
What's in danger is we're losing that. I feel like we're losing that in the sense of our generations are, I think younger people are parenting younger, and we're losing the connection with our previous generation. So a lot of those oral stories,
I don't think so.
I feel like it is. A lot
I
of those
just think
oral
things have
stories
just changed,
aren't.
bro.
Change how?
I think that's the change.
Because they parent younger in the older days. They were young too, right? They were teens.
It's not even that. I just think the stories that we got, those firsthand stories, that firsthand knowledge. Like I said, when my mom's generation is gone,
Is it up to us to carry it on?
You don't have that generation and that history is gone. If that's not passed on properly to people and documented and moved down the generations, you don't have it anymore.
You think it's lost history?
It could be.
Right.
Well, the other thing too, if we think about the dynamics of what's going on right now, we used to have a collective community. Collective community was the concept that you knew all your neighbors.
It was a village.
You knew all your neighbors. If you went down the street, you cut up, they'd whip your butt.
Oh,
whatever.
right.
Okay, so we have that specifically in my mother and father's generation. I have some of that as I'm coming up, and then it becomes where that's not happening.
Yes.
So then my kids are growing up. They know some of their neighbors, but guess what? their neighbors aren't going to swat them on the butt and send them back home.
It's a different
because
generation.
we don't have that anymore.
Joseph said, Booker T.
Booker T.
Oh yeah, Booker T. Washington.
Yeah, okay. The school.
Yeah.
No doubt. That was my,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, are you good?
it closed down after my mom graduated.
Yeah.
Went to Regional High.
They went to senior high.
For sure.
They started winning all the championships at that point.
Yeah.
But
Booker T was nasty too, though.
Yeah, they was.
I'm gonna say
I'm saying
this:
for real,
if we want that to happen, then we're gonna have to start taking more responsibility and get back to that collective concept. The issue is now I can say it.
Yeah.
I can say it, but who's willing to do
This
it?
is my thing though. I cannot imagine my neighbor whooping my son.
I can.
I'm whooping your
I
ass.
can't even.
But
Like, I'm just keeping 100. Like,
Put your hand on my kid.
yeah, exactly.
But
Like,
But see,
that's a
the
whole nother
times
problem.
are different. You think that way because of how it is
Exactly.
today.
Think about it. I really don't know my neighbors.
Exactly.
I know.
But that's
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's-
you
and
knew your
that's-
neighbors
man,
back in
my
the day.
son
and that's
You know what I mean?
that's the
On my
disconnect.
daughter, yeah.
That's the disconnect that's going on. And if we have kids that are coming together and they're shooting each other, right? And a lot of them are coming from different dynamics, broken families, and maybe don't have that male
stuff.
figure. Well, who's going to be the person that says, you know something? I'm not going to just say it. I'm not just going to say, you know, I'm here to support you. I'm going to take you in as a part of an extension of me, and I'm going to be there for you 24/7. Understand, I'm not saying that anybody owes that or has to do that, but until that dynamic comes back to us, we're going to always have kids shooting each other in the street. We're going to always have kids that aren't connected to
I
who
agree.
they are. We're going to always have kids that have this idea of self-hate. So, you know, people ask, how can you fix it? Hey, I know how to fix it, but who is willing to step up, and how many people are willing to step up to do that for the next generation? That's the key, because we're kind of like, you know, you can say it. I raised mine. I ain't
You're concerned with nothing else.
Yeah,
Right.
You know,
I'll be honest with you though. Honestly, I don't think it totally has nothing to do with not having a male figure in their life, because you can have that too and still be just as lost.
absolutely.
You still be just as lost.
But
Boy, I'm fine.
I'm here for you, big
You
dog.
gotta rub on me though, man. I know you and your community different. Y'all running things out here. Never mind. But also though, like, you had-
He wasn't there for you.
But you know
I feel it.
But understand,
Big energy, right?
it can be a void. It can be a void anywhere though.
Inside joke.
You can't take these dudes nowhere.
You can't.
No, I'm just kidding. Because like JaMar grew up without he grew out his father.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we used to have that like 5 episodes.
Okay, look, listen, everybody, let's cry for JaMar right quick.
You ain't got to, please.
We ain't got no
You
cry
know,
button.
Listen, I didn't have a father in my household, but I had father figures around.
Right.
So I'm good.
I've been there a long time.
Okay, Clarence. The doctor was speaking.
You say you been there a while?
I've been around my life. It ain't funny, but it's
Nah, all
we make
serious
jokes
jokes
out
out.
of it though. But it's so serious.
Yeah, it is.
We just laugh. at it, though.
Like I still have a pain. Like I still have a hole in my heart from my father passed away when I was 15, and we were close. So I always, you know, it's not a day go by I look at my son and I don't think of my father. Not one day.
Right.
You know, I got in my home. I got the only picture I have of my father, and it's got to be around age 7 or 8, and I just got it like 2 years ago. I just got this picture. First time I ever seen my father as a child. Never seen it before.
Okay.
So
it's different.
I got it about 2 years ago, and I got a picture of my son around him at 6, a picture of me at 6, and a picture of my father around, I guess, what I would say 6 to 8.
oh yeah,
So it's 3 of us at that same age.
Hey, man, we ain't asked you all this shit.
But what's up in the game? You know, never mind.
He just gave us three generations.
My fault. I mentioned the back cave.
Wait.
I know what a back cave is.
Nah, listen. He just gave us 3 generations of some bullshit. Ain't nobody asked him. He got 3.
That's a dope concept though. That's a dope concept. That's dope.
No, I draw connection to it. You know.
Well, we don't give a fuck. We truly don't care.
You see what I got to deal with a bunch of ignorant when we're dealing with ignorant. It's ignorant. If I'm sitting aside, I'll pour a drink on his head. And I'll walk out. It's ignorant.
We just don't care.
This man right here lost His man lost his father.
Boy, I ain't lost his father. He's still living. He's somewhere out.
Well, you lost him because he ain't never show up. But mine, I lost mine.
He showed up when I was there. Yo, man, you doing too much. That's what you're doing.
Oh,
Dr. Rob, we're going to put you in a one-on-one session with these two. They need it.
No, I don't.
They need it.
Oh, my God.
Hey,
First of all, my father's still living. Let's put that out there.
let me
Kill all
No, he just gave us 3 pictures of me and my son, my daddy and my son. But we don't give a damn, man.
I love my daddy. I miss my daddy.
Oh, my gosh.
Anyway, man, let me ask y'all a serious question.
okay.
I ran the horn.
You spoke earlier about family members that possibly will be may go as pastors or passing. The terminology of passing. I'm just curious, and I was just gonna ask each of you this question: if you had the opportunity for a better life, or at a time where we live where maybe it was safer, would you? And you could pass as white, would you?
I want to say no because
You all know my answer.
For me,
well, I'm gonna get to you.
Yeah, for me, definitely not.
Just wait a minute.
'Cause I feel like if you try to identify as something else, to me, you feel like you're not good enough where you are.
Yeah, we ain't asked you all that. I said, would you?
But that's my opinion. To me, I feel like I'm proud to be who I am.
Tomorrow, if you go to the bank and get a loan, you wouldn't do it.
I'm going to get a loan. Yeah, my name is still Huxtable.
Boy, get that business loan and be gone.
Boy, gone. Pack the mail, gone.
Oh, my God.
I got this snow cone machine.
Yeah, that's right. No, I'm proud to be me. So no, definitely no.
No. But think about like in the past time.
No.
Okay.
Now, you got to think about, what, we going back like slavery time?
Anytime, at any point in time in history, if
It's
you had
every
the
time,
opportunity.
yeah. I mean, it's no. I mean, I don't want to get whipped. I don't want my wife to be raped. Like, yeah.
So you would pass as white if you could back then.
In slavery times,
Look, I pass as white today, so I know I was
to
doing
me, that's a no-brainer.
No, he's not
because
joking. He do, and that's cool.
To me, back then, that's a no-brainer because that's a whole new different lifestyle.
That's
now,
good.
bringing it over to where we're supposed to be equal,
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna be me.
Not at any point in time would I. But
Not
even
even point in
then?
time.
Not even knowing your wife is gonna get raped, and you gotta take care of his son. Boy,
I think like
that's tough.
For me, it's so entrenched in who I am. I'm an African American.
Yeah, me too.
So I can't even
fathom.
begin to
Me
fathom
either.
what that looks like.
To me, slavery brings a whole new different
I'm so true.
dynamic.
I'm so true to who I am.
Slavery is
man.
a different dynamic.
And,
I mean, I get it. I'm not judging.
and
I
with
just-
my
I just-
situation-
No,
I get
I'm
it.
not. I'm saying the slavery is a different
And
dynamic.
with my situation, I'm both. I'm black and white.
True, I get it.
But we already
Like,
know what you did in the
if I want a job, I'm putting white on my application.
Right, that's what he does.
Okay,
That's
so,
what I do.
So
Yeah.
so you
And the other time, I'm black.
so
When
you
the government calls, say, "What are you?"
so you shift back and
I'm
forth.
African American.
You shift back and forth.
He
Yeah.
does.
he does what
I do
benefits
for
him.
sure.
And he
Okay.
finds benefit in doing it.
Okay.
Right.
And that's honest. I mean,
Because
so-
everybody, all of us got a white voice.
Do you?
Oh, I know I do.
But do you feel like you passing?
He definitely is.
Now the boy keep a job.
He definitely is.
I always got a job, so yeah.
He definitely always
Yeah,
does.
for sure.
Boy, he never out of
It
work.
don't matter.
He never
This
out of
man
work.
can
Look,
tell
I
his
can quit.
supervisor,
I can quit. I can quit tomorrow.
By Friday, Chad got a whole new career. He gonna be a fireman one day. Next day he installed the cable.
That white on the application, get it done for him
Every time until he comes.
Until they get him in there,
And
until
see,
they
my
get him in
friend-
there. They work them first 8 hours.
My
we
first
screwed
name, like my first name is Chadwick. So when they see that on the application, it's like
They don't know what to
Oh yeah,
think.
we got a good one.
Yeah.
And then I
It's
walk
gonna be
in, it's
mine.
like surprise, psych.
And then when you start working, they like, oh, we just fucked up. we brought the wrong one in. This joker taking
Oh, my
long on the
God.
lunch break. He taking 45 minutes. It's supposed to be
just
30.
I'm seriously the only person that go to work and say like I ain't doing this shit today.
He literally tells the supervisor several times.
That joker
This is
walked
what it's
in and
gonna
told,
be
he
today.
told the boss, I ain't come here to work.
I did not come here to work today. Let you know that right
At the end
now.
of the year, he got about 4 W-2s for sure.
I don't know how you keep up with him.
Oh my God.
That joker filed his
And
taxes
and like
one or two.
we ain't even lying.
No,
Not at all.
not at all.
This is not a joke. It's not a joke.
Somebody like me trying to bash from somewhere else, it's hard to find a job. Him? No.
That joker
trash
filed-
man.
We stay working around here.
Yeah. Now
tell you
one
that
thing about it,
now.
boy gonna work.
He gonna work.
Now I don't know where he gonna work, but he gonna work.
He can be anything. He can be a preacher one week.
He filed his
Trash
taxes.
man.
He filed his taxes, then try to. I think I left off a W-2 or 2.
You remember we had to remind him. You remember working FedEx for one day?
I sure did.
For one day.
Look, I went through orientation.
How you get fired on your first day?
I went through orientation. That was it.
I ain't gonna lie, I worked in UPS for about a week and I let it go too.
He lost his job on the first day.
I didn't lose
He
my
ain't Clark
job.
Kent.
They just wouldn't tell me, like, I had a full-time job at the time. This was a part-time job.
Right.
They didn't tell me if they was going to let me off in time to go to my main job. I was like, well, I'm not going to do it.
On the first day, you overslept though.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Yeah, you
Okay.
did.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I know you did.
We didn't.
But I probably wasn't going anyway.
No, probably wasn't. 4 hours at Patch. Hey, you going to work? Oh yeah, it is.
First day.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I ain't never.
I forgot about that.
Boy,
So to answer the question, yes.
Because I was going to go the first night just to see if they would let me
Chad,
off.
we don't care.
I was going to leave
Chad, we don't
if
care.
not.
Chad, we don't care.
Anyway.
We don't care.
So that'd have been my last day. That'd been my last first day.
Now, Rob, you see where some counseling can be had. Your services get on this couch. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tell you.
Well, now look, can we get the book? Is it online or what?
Oh, yeah.
Like where can you
Tell
get
the
the
folks
book?
where we can pick it up.
You can get the book through Amazon. You can also get it at my independent website, which is Sync of
Is that on your
Life.
screen right now?
Yo.
syncoflife.com. And so we're just pushing it forward. And I think the key thing that I want to make just real clear about the book, if you get recognized by your work, by the amount of books that you sell, but more important to me is about getting this message out, and hopefully it resonates with a lot of different people.
Look, so y'all go out and get that for sure.
Most definitely.
It's on Amazon and where else?
Sync of Life, SYNCOOFLIFE.com.
And he blessed us with physical copies, by the way. He came with gifts.
Yeah, for sure. Now if you come on the podcast, if you don't bring nothing,
You say that every time, man.
Every
You don't be
time.
quiet.
He ain't the only one.
like Greg still owe us.
A plate. Dr. Rob, is this your first book?
That is
Your first published book?
That is, yeah. So I've written like journal articles, academic type stuff.
Yeah.
But this is absolutely my first novel, and don't ask me how I know. I'm gonna end up writing 3.
Okay.
Like 3 in sequence of this one, or just you just got 3 in mind?
I got 3 that I feel like I got to get out before I leave here.
Okay.
And shout out to William Lee.
Yeah,
he redid your cover.
A previous guest we had.
Yeah, William Lee was on here
Bro, Will
Like a
Lee.
second-
maybe
Oh,
a year ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And he
And he redid the cover, right?
Yeah, and he's been absolutely wonderful to work with.
Yeah.
So shout out
Good
to
brother
him.
there.
Absolutely,
No doubt.
Absolutely.
Well, we hope
No
we
doubt.
appreciate you for joining us, and we hope the next time around when you get another one that you keep us in mind and come bless us with
Definitely.
it.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
and share it with. I know we get a little cranky on here now.
Yeah.
We
got
talk
laughs
about
a little
we
bit.
got a little bit of everything we talk about,
Most
but
definitely.
Let me tell you, I've enjoyed it, and
we appreciate you.
yeah, I appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Well, look, on the bottom of your screen right now is our YouTube Boy You Said Something podcast. Make sure you go subscribe to that joint right now, and make sure you hit that notification bell. Also, on the bottom of your screen is our Facebook page. Make sure you hit that follow on there, and our IG at Boy You Said
Shout out
Something.
to Tevin.
Shout out to the guys for the at the barbershop.
We appreciate
for sure.
y'all, no doubt. You got any last words? Anything you want to leave with?
Just stay synced, y'all. Stay synced.
Stay synced.
Stay
I like
synced.
that.
Stay synced. Boy, did he say something right
Boy, you
there.
said
Boy, you
something.
said something.
Stay
Yo, we
synced.
out.
I like that.
Yo.
All right.
Boy, you said something. 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 Hey, boy, you said something. Boy, you said something. Hey, boy, you said something. Boy, hey, you so crazy.